Hello, this is Warpath 1985 speaking, and today's very first Halloween special, since the previous one that was supposed to come out last year was accidentally, or more or less the audio for that serious review that was planned for last year was sadly corrupted and just ruined. So this means that this will be my first Halloween special, which is fantastic. Besides that, I should be discussing the Mattel Creations Master Universe Origins Demo Man, or technically Demon, or Demo Man. There's various ways to correctly pronounce his name, similar to how, like, to add an AT and a Gym to GM. Very similar way to, like, or more just similar circumstance with how to pronounce Demo Man's name. I originally call him Demo Man, similar to like Demo Man from TF2, like that sort of pronunciation. So I just call him Demo Man instead of like Demon Man or just Demo Man. Again, various ways to pronounce it. Now, this character is very interesting in the sense that he's either one of those very like obscure Master Universe characters. He's even like more obscure than like Wonder and Keklar. Cleaning up others like I think it's like Mistress. I forget her name, but I put the image over here. From the Snake Man, also Fangor, and especially not really. It's 5-4. No, it's not 5-4. It was. Fangor. I forget his name, but put it in here as well because his name is actually very similar to Cobra Khan, but it's just slightly different. These called like just Superior Khan or something like that. It's similar, like based with Khan. Besides that, he's very similar to those characters. Just like a lore type of character, and he's super obscure, and he does have a previous figure, which I don't have since I don't particularly collect classics, because I don't really collect 6-inch figures or anywhere like near that typical scale. I usually just collect like 5-inch, 3/4 inch, etc. Basically, close to action figures. Besides that, Demo Man is interesting lore-wise because Demo Man is basically the reason why Skeletor is even like still alive technically, because the origins of Skeletor. I'll be saying with the meeting comic first, because this is quite important to the diverse depictions of Demo Man. The meeting comic is called Soul Keeper, and it also depicts its own like variation of the story of Skeletor's origins. Since there's technically multiple different origins to him, but all of them follow the same general notions, or technically plots-wise. So you open up with Skeletor obviously feeling a little weird in general, until it's revealed that after a exorcism done by good old Evil Lyn, it was Demo Man who basically wanted to be freed from Skeletor, who was originally being technically not necessarily he was imprisoned inside Skeletor. It's more as just he imbued Skeletor with his powers, basically. Obviously, Demo Man wanted to take over Eternia for himself, but she was thwarted by Evil Lyn and being, or more or less, thwarted by Evil Lyn, turned into a crystal ball and tossed into space, where he was picked up by Hordak, which again, this is more or less following the plot of Revolution, where very similar plot-wise, where it was Skeletor being beat by Demo Man, but it was happened in kind of sorta in it was the Phantom, not the Phantom Zone. It was the Fright Zone. There you go, the Fright Zone. You see right here, the Fright Zone, kind of like that, sort of being right there, and also being beaten in the Fright Zone by Hordak, by him basically just morphing, almost fusing Skeletor's being with Demo Man. More so emphasizing Skeletor, which is why, obviously, see right here, Skeletor technically has a skull, because although, yes, it was because his assassination attempt taking the throne from King Rendor, his brother, was throwing acid at him, and the acid was thrown back to his face. That's why he has a skull, technically. It's also technically just because Demo Man also has, well, you know, a skull for a face, and thusly that's why he kind of has a skull for a face. Like Skeletor, etc. This is more particularly like shown predominantly through very predominantly through the Kevin Smith series of Revolution, where it was more or less like he got the skull because he was possessed by Doman, and not just because he was injured or disfigured, like in 2000X, his interpretation of Origin Skeletor. Again, it's very minor, and it makes sense. It's just a super weird like interpretation, since it is like a mix of both of them, but also mainly kind of like focusing on the 2000X interpretation, which is my personal favorite, because you know, it makes the most sense, and also it technically makes better sense of the origins in Skeletor, not particularly makes it that more confusing, because again, Revolutions technically took a different approach in terms to make that sense, because Hordak wanted to use Skeletor as a weird like puppet for like dark magic, etc. Even though technically Hordak can still do dark magic, etc. More just wield it. It's super confusing, and I didn't particularly like that interpretation, but it was okay, but so to describe it. Besides that, Delman technically doesn't really appear in those after pieces of media. He's just more just implied to exist in that particular media. Whoever exists in, like, again, the mini comics and other comic books such as that. However, Despondoes, the particular universe that Delman's from, oh yeah, that's definitely appeared in the majority of media. First appeared in, I believe it was the mini comics, or was implied to exist in mini comics, and then it was fully like shown in like 2000X with the origin of King Grayskull, etc. German power swords, and shown in some bit of artwork, in which I will show off now, since here is the world of Despondoes. We see right here in the artwork with the alternate card back for the Mattel Creations figure, because I usually don't show the card backs of these Mattel Creations figures, because they don't particularly aren't that important. But in this case, it is, since it not only is a nice like interpretation of the classic Delman artwork, because if you don't know, because this is weird with Delman, Delman was originally supposed to be the main villain to at the time Barbarian He-Man, or technically different type of He-Man. It was like Gorn or whatever. Put him here as well, since he also got a brand new toy through Mattel Creations as well. It's still being sold there, actually. And similar to that guy, Gorr, Delman was available for quite a little longer, but unlike Delman, Gorr is still technically available because he's a lot more. That was just popular. He's a character that's kind of like, oh, not really. Delman's a lot more popular than him because Delman's a lot more interesting, etc. But also, back to the main topic. This really just replicating the original concept art from them, right here, of Demoman from the original toy line, which was obviously when he switched, because it starts being the main antagonist of the toy line, and also switched out to Skeletor, because if you don't know, Demoman's obviously paired that way saying Demon, and obviously you can't really have a toy called Demon. Then there's just characters who are technically are demons, but not the called demons on the little general just the figure. Good example would be like Parademons from Marvel. I think it's called Marvel. Actually, no, Parademons from DC. There you go. Although yes, they're called demons, they're technically not really called that in their name. It's called Parademon, so obviously still kind of works out a little bit. So yeah, it's a little weird. But that. That was his origins aside of him being from Despondoes and being kind of like sort of the main figure in Despondoes. There are more characters from Despondoes, but in general, he's kind of just the main dude from there, basically. His origins aside, the figure comes with a bunch of accessories, technically. He's not as, like, filled with random accessories compared to Wondar and, I think it's like, I don't know, something around her name is like Mistress Hiss? Or something like that? I don't know. The point is that he's on the figure with the most accessories that in that case. But it does still come with a lot. He also comes with a flail, which is inspired by his flail from his artwork. He comes with Skeletor's head, which is inspired by his classics figure. And also in general, it's technically furthers the connection between him and Skeletor, and also it's nice because you can have like a option to swap that with a little more Skeletor figure, because I believe it was like mentioned by Toy Habits that he had the Rise of Evil. There you go, 2-pack with Skeletor and is that Keckle? It's Keldor and Keklar, I believe. No, I think Keklar is He-Man's best friend of the cartoon. It was, I forget his name, but he is previous was chopped off. Put the 2-pack here in the name as well. Where that figure had that when Skeletor was replicating when it became Skeletor when his eyes was red, etc., etc., etc. The point is that figure came with that head, and he wants to talk about that figure. Here's particularly like head and cape with the normal release at the time, because he preferred a lot more. In this case, you have like another option with that because it's actually slightly different, and I'll talk more of that later because of his comparisons. He also comes with a non-glow-in-the-dark version of the Skeleton Warrior head, which is particularly inspired by his artwork. You see right here in the back, where it's also totally inspired right here, where you can see the Skeleton Warrior's head is right there, lying in the dust. No more of this in the desert dunes. Of course, it's a nice little detail, and also have him displayed with it, either he's crushing it with his bare feet, crushing it with his flail, or just holding onto it like a classic like villain pose like this. Otherwise, it is quite neat. Or have him like wear it to like certain various pics from the Mattel Creations website has, but which is those here I'm referring to. He also comes with a sword, which is also from well, I should probably mention this. These two are from the Skeleton Warrior 2-pack, so the sword is also from there. It's okay. It does technically It does technically do the job to replicate the sword does from his artwork and the mini comic, but it's still a little not accurate per se. But the problem with these weapons is that they don't really work with the figure's hands for some reason. I don't know why. It just doesn't really work out with the hands, especially with the flail. When trying to do plug into the hand, it just kind of falls out, including like the sword. It might be my figure that has this problem, but yeah, it's just weird. The sword does fit a lot better because of the guard, but in that case, it just kind of falls out like that. Just all right there. Other accessories that are removable accessories from the body, which is the elbow armor right here, or technically the bicep armor right here. It's removable. It's like your classic He-Man like armor piece where it just pops off with a little like peg right here. It has more like this removable like shoulder armor here, and a not technically a loincloth, but more it's just like garb technically. Like it's just it's not a tunic. Maybe called tunic. It's not a gi either. I think it's all like a tunic piece right here that can be removed as well, which is pretty cool. That you have like remove all these different pieces, or mostly just comes with this accessories. Besides that, here's your standard like Master Universe articulation, bolts right here, hinged elbows, hinged biceps and shoulders. Hinged shoulders, hinged elbows, hinged wrist swivels at both of them, or most all the joints. A swivel waist, which is somewhat hindered by the tunic. I think it's called tunic. This also includes the leg articulation, but since there are cutouts here and there, and since that's the molded to be splayed outwards for ease of articulation, it does mean you can still get into a bunch of poses. He has a pretty decent bend at the knee, has a calf cut, and finally some ankle articulation. So your standard Master Universe articulation, and I think these feet are reuses from the figure Snakeman. I believe it was... Is that Tongue Lasher? It's some other Snakeman. Probably sure that's Snakeman here I'm referring to. If not, it might be like entirely unique. Similar to the head, which is fantastic and always replicates the artwork and etc. However, it's a lot more ghastly and it's a lot more inspired by the classics figure where it leaned more into the skull motif instead of the more emaciated look of the artwork and other interpretations of the character. Besides that, for some comparisons with characters that are related to him, you have Hordak here, the person who summoned him in the first place. Again, look pretty good together. And obviously Keldor for the Rise of Evil 2-pack. Very nice. And of course, there's the stuff. Here's a person with the Rise of Evil Skeletor heads, or just head. Now, here's the difference between both of them, because it's actually kind of important for those who are trying to either hunt down this figure or trying to complete the one or the other, or might mix them up between the both of them. I'm trying to focus on both of them, but they're kind of very hard to focus on there. Okay, so differences. This is the one from Mattel, man. This is the one from the Rise of Evil 2-pack. The difference is that this one uses printed paint details, or printed just paint in general. And while this one uses like spray painted paint. You can tell by it because obviously one of them looks a lot more base coated, and the other one is not base coated as in base coated as in the paint style, and the other one looks a lot more digital. Other details is that the eyes look a lot more shinier with the the Rise of Evil 2-pack version. Now this one's darker shade of red, more it's like a maroon instead of like the weird ruby type of red from the original mold, original head basically. Including the teeth are painted differently, where the it's a lot more sharper on the Doman version, while the Rise of Evil is a lot more sloppy. And even the plastic color is different as well, with the Rise of Evil being like a neon, like yellow, so that's like lime green. The other one's not really, it's more like a softer type of green, very much the same color as the Abdoman's skin. Even more differences is that this one actually has purple eyes, the Rise of Evil version, while the other one has black eyes, more just irises and the nose painted. Including the mouth is also painted in black and on the Delman version, so purple on the original. And even the shades of purple on the hoods are also different, because the original one leaned to much more of a deep pound purple, kind of like a grape color, while the other one was a lot more like a pretty much a blueberry type of purple, more like a weird like navy blue mixed with purple type of deal. The super minor differences, but the main differences you want to look for is just the weird like concerned face on the Skeletor head of the Donut version, where it has like these little like brows basically, and also the different colored versions of the plastics. Those are the main differences between both of them, other than just like black irises and purple irises, and especially the colors, and both of them being very different, with the other one being a ruby color and the other one being like a maroon color. Of course, both of them can be used on the figures, like is shown on the various promotional images of the figures when they're released, and also available on their respective website, since the Rise of Evil 2-pack was a Target exclusive, and the Delman figure was a Mattel Creations exclusive. There we go. I'll zoom outwards and focus on in there. You can see right there, these figures with the alternate heads. If you're curious, this will look like Delman. It looks like with the... It's so hard to move. The Skeletor Warrior head. Looks a little wonky, because it's more of the one for the Skeletor Warrior mold. And rest with the original head. And if you're curious what it'll look like, the Keldor body mold figure with the Doman head, it would look kind of like this. So yeah. Overall, this figure is actually really good. I was pleasantly like surprised that they even made this figure and such character, and especially was pleasantly surprised by how pretty much nice the figure is. I absolutely like adore the figure's colors. I love the the origins of this character of Demoman. How he was like originally intended to be the Skeletor, the original toy line. And especially the accessories it comes with are super unique, and they're also important to lore-wise, and also the character of Demoman. And also found it cool that the figure had since of running like thing here with Mattel Creations, we're just talking about their exclusives a lot more, which is awesome. That means more people can get them, and generally that means this figure is like a little more common than most Mattel Creations figures, similar to how like Extendar and previous other figures in the 2024 series or figure set so far have been like relatively common on the market. Besides that, I do recommend this figure if you go for a good price or were able to get it when it's still available, since it's not currently sold out on the website. That's all for this review. Like, comment, subscribe, and hopefully I should see you next time. Happy Halloween, everybody!